Good morning. You're listening to Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance. And now, sharing his knowledge, here's your host, Matt Libby.
Good morning. Welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. Just me again today, and kind of want to address something that I've probably addressed this a little bit in the past, but it just, again, the importance of working with the local agent. Had a client, a referral call me recently, and, practically in tears, and I don't blame her. She's really got her insurance messed up. It's because of an unscrupulous agent just trying to get a commission, enrolling this person in a plan she didn't need to be on. Absolutely didn't need to be on. That was what was really crazy. It wasn't a matter of, some of these, they'll trick someone into thinking they're getting free dental with their Medicare, and so now they don't have their original Medicare with the Medicare supplement anymore because they're on a Medicare Advantage. That wasn't even the case here. And just as she's telling me the story, how much this woman, this other agent, lied to her. And what had happened was, and I'm about to say insurance company names, but you maybe have heard me say, not just turning 65 is the only reason people go on ability or go on Medicare, is also those that are on disability. Once you're drawing the Social Security disability insurance benefits, after 24 months, you're put on Medicare, because obviously after 24 months drawing disability, you basically aren't going to be able to go back to work, so you're technically retired. So that's the philosophy behind it. At least that's the way I understand it. So she's put on Medicare. She's married. Her husband has a good job, has good insurance, and she's on his insurance. And that was the best place for her to be on that employer insurance. Well, the thing was, she got a phone call, and the agent identified herself as being an agent of the company that her husband's insurance is. So she just thinks, it's something about somebody from the insurance company is wanting to coordinate some stuff with her, so she's missing out on some benefits is what, that's the first lie. You're missing out on benefits. We want to make sure you're getting all the benefits you deserve. That should be the first red flag. And the reason I'm bringing this up is don't get tricked. Sometimes you'll get people and they have a weird accent or something. And you're going to realize, okay, I don't know about this person. I don't think he is named Susie. Yeah, there was a commercial. I can't remember what it was several years ago, but people calling into like a call center and this is Susie. And it was like obviously a Russian man or Eastern European man, real heavy accent. And it's like, I don't think his name was Susie. So that was kind of what happened with her, but she didn't have, the misgivings of this person has a weird accent. They don't sound like they are even in the United States. Sounded like it made sense, a representative of the insurance company that they had. And she's, as I said, she's disabled. She's under 65 on Medicare. There are some health issues going on there. Well, and one of the big ones is she's on a drug called Mounjaro. And anybody's taking that prescription understands how absolutely expensive it is, especially if they're on Medicare already. So the issue for her on that, before I get more into the story, is there are certain drugs that are very, very expensive. And a lot of times you can get manufacturer's assistance or other programs that help you pay for those prescriptions. So this one here, I used I looked up on one of the prescription discount plans just to see if you use that get a coupon from them, how much that would save. Yeah, I took it from being almost $1,300 drug to being an $1,100 drug. That was the savings with the magic prescription card. So not much of a savings. That kind of gives you an idea of how expensive that drug is. I mean, it basically is. It's, $1,300 drug, and with a discount code, you could get it for $1,100. That's not using insurance or anything. So anyway, what she had in place was the discount from the manufacturer was she got a coupon, and on the insurance she had was able to get that for $30 a month, or maybe, $30 a month, probably not a 90-day supply. So they'd pay the 30 each 30 days. Very affordable at that point. Problem is, a lot of the assistance plans for your prescriptions do not carry over into when you're on Medicare. Now, when she had her Medicare A and B, she was fine. She was not on a Part D. That's the kicker there. If you're on a Part D, a lot of those, especially if the manufacturer available, those go away. They're gone. So she was told by this individual that, I've got this great plan for you. It's a special needs plan. It has no copays. Your doctor visits, your prescriptions are all going to be covered 100%, and there's no premium. You don't have to pay. It's a zero, So, of course, this prospect and her husband discussing, it's like, why am I paying money to have you added to my health plan at work if you can get this one for free? So they signed up for it. Of course, it's been a couple months now. And the issue there is now she's no longer on the group plan. She has this Medicare plan. She no longer has the assessments for the Mounjaro. She paid a bit more for it at first. She was a little upset about that. Unfortunately, didn't talk to me as soon as that happened. We maybe could have fixed things a little sooner. Hopefully, she maybe can still things get straightened out. I have suggested that she, contact Senator Blackburn or Senator Hagerty or Congressman Rose, call the insurance company, file a grievance, all these things. But all those things take time. That's not helping her today. But maybe she can get some assistance on that because there was definitely some fraud involved here. And I think, and I don't know, this young agent, I say young, if she's a young agent, inexperienced agent, she could have made a simple mistake and didn't realize what she was doing to this individual. This is giving her the benefit of the doubt. We have what's called special needs plans. We call them SNPs. And in most time in Tennessee, that's been what we call the DSNP. It's the dual special needs plan. And it's for people whose income is low enough that they also qualify for Medicaid. If you qualify for one of those plans, it's absolutely true. You will not pay for any of your health care costs. As long as you go to a doctor that's in network. That's where, then there's other plans out there that are called CSNPs. And it's CSNP, chronic special needs plans. So if you have diabetes, heart failure, heart disease, COPD, you can qualify for one of these CSNP plans. And that's what she ended up getting put on, because that was the thing she was trying to figure out. It's like, well, it's not enrollment season. How did I get put on a plan? The one thing with the chronic special needs plans is they have an ongoing special enrollment period, what we call it SEP. It's a one-time use. It's, hey, I can get some extra benefits with this plan because it's designed for people with diabetes. So it can help me with some of my other my diabetes-related costs. And you just have to acknowledge your doctor has to sign a form within 30 days of you enrolling to verify that, yes, you do have the condition. And then it stays in place. If not, then it would cancel and you wouldn't have it. But I wouldn't help her because the other plan is still gone. The other thing is when you're on Medicare and you have an employer plan, you can be on Medicare as like she was and not use Medicare as a primary because the group plan is primary. And I think she even mentioned there was something came up that Medicare did pay for as part of her on one of her claims or something alongside this group plan. She had several doctors, several prescriptions, and this person just proceeded to say, yep, put in all the names. Oh, yep, they're all on here. The prescriptions, yes, they're all covered. Well, they're, covered. And I know, and I ran into this before I was in insurance. When you ask somebody, you ask a provider, do you take my insurance? Yes. And I ran into that myself when I first moved to Oak Ridge and I got a welcome letter from a dentist. I thought, oh, this is really neat. This is a good idea. It's very proactive, letting you know, hey, welcome to the community. I call them up and say, do you take my insurance? They say yes. Great. Well, coming from the military, in dealing with what we call Champus was if you took my insurance, that meant I didn't pay. That's what it meant. Not that I was going to have any cost sharing or anything like that. And for myself, I hadn't been to the dentist in a while because it was when I, got out of the Army and had been out for a while and just didn't find the time to get to the dentist. So I had kind of let things go for a while. And that's why I always encourage people, please get a dental plan and use it. Because when you don't go and get those routine cleanings, that's when you have issues. And I had a lot of issues. It took me a while to get things back in shape. I've been doing very well now, doing my every 6 months and getting my teeth cleaned. And I had a few fillings here and there, but not the gum issues that I had for that. I know that got a little off sidetrack, but my point on that was when you tell someone they're covered, you're expecting to, you're not paying anything or you're going to pay a small cost. And, of course, that didn't apply in this case because Part D, and those of you that are on Medicare and on those expensive prescriptions like Mounjaro, Trulicity, Eliquis, those things you see on TV, you're going to hit what's called that infamous donut hole. And, yes, folks, that's still in effect for this year. Next year, it's going to be a little different. Going to have that max out of pocket. But you're going to hit those high expenses this year. So that's something we can, talk about. I may talk about that after the break. But right now, she's hoping that the best scenario for this lady would be to be reinstated under her husband's group plan now. It may not happen. She may have to wait for the open enrollment and get back on in January. But that's not going to help her with her expenses from now to the end of the year. And I even checked one of my sources for helping with prescriptions, and the prescriptions that she's talking about, they're real expensive. They're not on the price list. So I'm going to double check with them and see if they have any assistance there. But I use what's called the Canadian Med Store, and it kind of confuses people to think, well, I don't want to deal with, I don't want to deal with, you're actually, the company is in Florida. I've met the owner, the founder of the company. They help a lot of people get their prescriptions at affordable cost. And what they do is they coordinate to get your prescriptions sent to a Canadian pharmacy, and then it's shipped to you. Costs they're charging, I believe, also includes your shipping. It's crazy that you can buy a drug that's made in the United States, shipped to Canada, and then shipped to you and buy it for less, and you can go to a local pharmacy here and buy it. So I don't know what to say there. But that's been an issue for several years now, and a lot of folks do it. And it's legal. There's nothing illegal about it. But you're not going through your insurance. And so it really affects, like I said, those folks that have called the donut hole or the Part D coverage gap, that when those prices skyrocket because you're in that gap, you may be able to get it for less through the Canadian drugstore. So contact me if you're running that right now. If you're in that gap now and you're paying $500-$600 for a 90-day supply of something like that I've mentioned. Let's see if we can get that for less. If you can't, you can't. It's free to check, but I can put you in contact with my contacts there in Florida that can help you save on those prescriptions. So let me know if I can help there. You just, again, you can call the office, you can email us, you can go to insurancematchmaking.com in the comments section there where you ask a question, for the show. You can say, hey, you mentioned that Canadian drugstore. Can you give me how to contact them? And we'll do that there. So we're going to cut into the break here real quick, and then I'll be right back.
At Gentry's Power Equipment, we deliver unmatched value and reliability for all your outdoor needs. Right now, get an instant $700 rebate on select X-Mark radius mowers and enjoy special financing options at just 1.99% for 48 months. Don't miss out on these incredible savings. Hurry in, rebates won't last long. Visit Gentry's Power Equipment today and power up your yard with the best deals in town. Gentry's Power Equipment, 755 Buffalo Valley Road, Cookeville, where big boy toys are their specialty.
A gorgeous 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home situated on 4.4 wooded acres in Cumberland Cove, selling absolute and online only. A very well-maintained home, access from a gated paved driveway, giving a stunning approach to a well-manicured property. Also selling high-quality personal property, including a Honda Ridgeline, Honda Accord Cross Tour, John Deere lawn tractor, guns, furniture, and more. Bidding ends Friday, October 4th at 10 a.m. Visit EagleAuctions.com or call Lee J at 526-5335.
Discover the value of family fun at McCulley's Amazing Acres of Fun. Unforgettable memories start here. Explore over 40 amazing activities, including our pumpkin patch and corn maze. Open now through November 2nd. Visit us Fridays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in October, Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Don't miss out on creating unforgettable memories this fall. McCulley's Amazing Acres of Fun, where unforgettable memories start.
And now, back to Insurance Matchmaking, your path to health, life, and Medicare coverage with Matt Libby Insurance, hosted by Matt Libby.
All right, welcome back to Insurance Matchmaking. And I was talking about those costs for the Part D. I mentioned the Canadian Med Store, Canadian Drugstore. I can give you that link, and I'll give you the link now. It's Drugstore Unlimited is the actual website, and it is, like I said, it is not a Canadian company. It is a U.S. company, and their sole purpose is to find you prescriptions for less than what you have to pay for them here. So if you don't have insurance, that's something you can do. I'm actually been trying to set up a phone call with somebody that wants me to sell a drug plan for them. It's not a Medicare drug plan, so I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think it's it's a monthly fee, and it's like $30 a month or something like that. It's not real high, but I don't know what all prescriptions it will cover, but it still may come into one of those, hey, you don't have a Part D, or maybe you've put off having a Part D, and if you sign up for Part D, you're going to have a penalty added onto whatever drug plan you get, which could be that $30 or more if you've been on Medicare for a while and just haven't had Part D. And But the other thing is not just the Medicare folks. A lot of plans have a real high deductible for drug coverage. So it's not like a copay situation. What I'm understanding, it's going to be this, you buy the plan, you pay so much for the plan, and then whatever the cost of the drug is, whether it may be a drug that's zero since you're paying that premium, or if it's a real expensive drug, it's probably still going to be expensive, but it might be less than what you're paying for it. You would pay for another plan. And a lot of plans, the under 65 folks, a lot of plans, we go for a high deductible so we can get a very low premium, and they're very benefit poor, and especially on the prescription side, that they may cover generics, but you're going to have to pay a lot for a brand name, or you have to meet a big deductible before they start paying for a brand name. So it may help fill those gaps. So I'm hoping it might be something like that, and see if it makes sense for my clients. It may be something I don't want to share with you at all, but I don't know all the details on it. So hopefully in the next show or two, I'll have some information on that and say, hey, I did agree to go with this program, and here's why you might want to take it, or hey, yeah, I looked at that and I don't think it's going to work for my clients, so I'm not doing it. Just check back and we'll have information on that. So the issue with this lady, with her not being signed up, hopefully maybe she can get reinstated into that group employer plan and be good there. If not, other than that, the plan that she was put on is probably not a bad plan for her if she didn't have the other options. That's the part that's the rub, plus that she was fraudulently enrolled in it. And there's a lot of that going on. Please, that I can't stress enough. You get a phone call and they say they're from the insurance company. Start asking them to provide information. They're asking you for your Medicare number, your Social Security number, all that. If they're from the insurance company, they should have all that information. They should be able to tell you, oh, yes, you have plan number 1456 and your ID number is JB78-449. Whatever. Those are just hypothetical. But they should know that. If they're from the insurance company, they know your information. And I bring that up because a lot of especially the Medicare Advantage plans, one of the things they do is it's managed care. So they have programs where they have the nurse come to your house. No charge to you. In fact, they usually pay you if you let them come. It's like they come out, they do a little quick check on you, just see how you're doing, ask you questions about what's going on with your health. And, a week or two later, you get a little debit card, prepaid card in the mail that, hey, thanks for doing that checkup. So it's like, it's not just... It's a great idea to do it. And it's what it is because they want to catch things before they turn into something that costs more. We all know if you find cancer in stage 1 or something that might be what they call a precursor to cancer, they catch that, they can take care of it. I mean, that's why they want us to get our colonoscopies every several years, remove those polyps before they become cancer. Costs a lot less for the insurance company to pay for that, and that's why they do it. The preventive care makes so much sense to get those taken care of. So the reason I bring that up again, yes, you will get calls from the insurance company. Social Security is not going to call you. Medicare is not going to call you. So if somebody calls you, says they're from Medicare or from Social Security, just hang up the phone. I actually had gotten some calls a while back. It's been several years now. They were spoofing the Social Security number. It came up on my caller ID because I went, Google it, and it's like, that's the Social Security phone number that they're telling me that they're calling from. And I think they finally got that fixed. I haven't seen those. But so that could confuse you if you're like, well, yeah, that's the 800 number they tell me to call. If you turn around and dial that number, it would dial Social Security. It wouldn't dial the scammers. But there's so many things they do to trick you, to get you talking. The other thing is, if they ask if they can hear you, just say, I can hear you. Don't say yes. There's some tricks they do is they'll come back and they edit the audio, and they have you answering yes to a question, but it wasn't the question they asked. It was like, "Are you okay with me to sign up for this?" And then you said, and then they patch in that your yes answer. So be very careful about saying yes to people you're not sure who you're talking to. So those are the things I try to warn people. But as I said, Medicare and Social Security do not call you. Insurance companies will call you, but they have your information. They're not going to call to verify your ID number. If they say, oh, this is so-and-so, we got this benefit, I want to make sure I'm talking to Mary Smith. Can you tell me your ID number to make sure I have the right ID number? And that's when you turn around and you say, you called me, you have it, you tell me, and I'll tell you whether it's right or not. And it's unfortunately, we've talked about the older generation, and I'm 65, and I'm talking about those even more so the people who are older than me, the ones that are in their 70s and 80s now especially. I don't know what. It was just a societal thing. If somebody called and said they were official from something, you trust them. There's that trust built in. Younger generations were, even my generations, as younger boomers, we're a little more skeptical, and our young people today are skeptical of everything. So they don't, they're not going to fall for it. They'll fall for the stuff online in TikTok reels or whatever, but in Instagram reels, but they won't fall for somebody calling them on the phone because they won't answer the phone. You have to text them. But you got to remember those texts are usually, a lot of those are fake too. If anything answering you free or sounds too good to be true. And I get that. Sometimes when I'll explain things to policy, people are like, oh, that just sounds too good to be true. And I say, yeah, I get how that sounds, but let me show you why that's the case. Like the ACA marketplace, these people think, oh, I'm going to have to spend $2,000 on my insurance and come back and say it's zero or it's $50, and they're like, how can that be? Well, based on your income, you get a certain amount of subsidy. And then when it's explained, they go, oh, okay, now I see how that happens. I mean, it's not free. $0 Medicare Advantage plans are not free. They're subsidized. So you and I are paying for them. Anybody who's on Medicare is paying their Part B premium, so that doesn't cover much of it, but it does go towards it. That Medicare pays that insurance company to be your health plan. So there's a premium, and even the government, when they advertise, many plans are $10 or less. The plans are not $10 or less. What you have to pay for it is $10 or less because you're getting a huge subsidy. So that's something we can help with. There's things we can still do to get people covered for this year. You do not have to wait till October or November to get something in place for next year. There's a lot of those things that can come up. The other thing I realized I wanted to cover, I've got a few minutes left here, is there are some medical professionals that just hate Medicare Advantage plans. So you'll see it a lot if you're on Facebook or Instagram. You're going to see these things, that talking about the Medicare disadvantage. And I'm not a great big fan of Medicare Advantage, but they do work for a lot of people, because of how much, they would be paying per month for a premium on a Medicare supplement. The other thing is, if you've been on Medicare for a while, yes, the one of the statements in this meme that goes around is you can disenroll from your Medicare Advantage plan and return to original Medicare for the next year. One, you're going to have to pick up a drug plan. So you do have to, and most drug plans are going to have a premium. So you're going to switch from a zero premium Advantage plan that includes your drug coverage and switch to having a drug plan that you're paying for. And now you're probably also going to have that Part D deductible, which is $590 next year, that might be covered by your Medicare Advantage. But the biggest risk on doing that is if you've been on Medicare for a while and you're not in good health. Maybe you had a heart attack a year and a half ago. Maybe you had cancer in the last couple years. And then you go to apply for a Medicare supplement. They can turn you down. They're not guaranteed issue. The supplement's not guaranteed. So you have Medicare. Well, when you have just Medicare A and B and maybe a standalone Part D drug plan, you have no maximum out-of-pocket protections. So if you go in the hospital, you're going to be hit with that over $1,600 deductible for the admission in the hospital. You go to the emergency room. You go see a specialist. You have to have cancer treatments. Medicare's only going to pay 80%. You're stuck with the 20% bill on top of that if all you have is original Medicare. So they're self-serving on the medical professionals when they're saying go to original Medicare because it's easier for them to deal with Medicare. They get paid quicker. Medicare says they're going to pay such and such amount. Your Medicare Advantage plans, they're in there to make a profit. So they're going to do managed care. And that's why you have to get prior authorizations because they'll say, nope, you can't get this procedure. Or no, we're not going to approve this surgery until you've gone to physical therapy for 6 months. And if you're not improved after that, then we'll approve the surgery. They're trying to avoid those costs. So that's where people talk about the disadvantages of Medicare. Yes, that can be frustrating. Yes, they have network, but there's downsides to both. One of the downsides of a Medicare supplement is, one, you have a monthly premium every month. None of them are zero. And guess what? They go up as you get older. That's a disadvantage. Now, they do cover a lot of things. The other thing is they do not provide any routine dental, vision, or hearing. Medicare does not cover dental, vision, and hearing, and so your Medicare supplement doesn't pick that up either. So if you're wanting dental, vision, hearing coverage, that's a separate plan that adds onto that cost. Yes, we offer those plans. Yes, I'd love to sign you up on a dental, vision, and hearing plan. I earn a commission on that. But the important thing is I want to make sure that you're covered, you're taking care of your health. It's important to have dental and vision screenings because they catch other problems, again, before they turn into it. So, the insurance companies want you to have those plans and get those checks. The other thing I've covered before I run out of time, a lot of times there's a misconception. People go, oh, yes, I've got diabetes. I have to go to the eye doctor every year. I need vision coverage. That's not a vision plan. Vision plan is for your eyewear. It is for the doctor visit to get your prescription for your eyewear and then an allowance for your glasses. It has nothing to do with you need to go to the doctor to screen for macular degeneration. That's a medical appointment. Your medical insurance covers that. So just to kind of clarify that's not why you need vision coverage. Vision coverage is mainly to cover your eyewear. You're just kind of prepaying towards your glasses if you get a vision plan. I'm not real big on selling the vision plans. They usually are a nice rider. A lot of the dental plans, it's included in the price. So it makes sense to get that because you do have that allowance, but you're basically paying for the dental plan. So that's what we can help you with there. Check back with us, see if we'll do it. And again, and got ahead of it. One of the Medicare supplement companies I have is this is probably going to be right at the end of the month, but you can apply for their Medicare supplement for a January 1st date. You can do that now in September, and then